Hi guys, we're here again, yet again. We're talking today. We're talking the Euros and how we did, how the groups turned out, and what surprises were in store. So let's just get straight into it. First of all, let's introduce the guys. So CK, you can go first, mate.
Oh yeah, I'm CK. Yeah, and I'm excited to talk about what's been happening in the Euros.
And then we've got the main man Z.
How's everybody doing? Yeah, I'm looking excited to discuss what happened in the past week in the Euros, to be fair. And yeah, I think some of my predictions came right. I don't know about yours, but yeah.
Good one, good one.
Good one, yeah. And then no George today. I think he's unavailable today. But we have a special guest for you. We have the main man Wave.
How's it going, everyone? Yeah, let's not even talk about my predictions. Even though I didn't come on camera and give any official ones, I'm not going to try and pretend like I got them right. Yeah, disappointing from my perspective, to be honest.
It's the group stage. Things tend to.
Anything happens.
Anything happens, exactly. So let's just get straight into it then. So I want to talk Group A first because we have the main men, the Turkish two, that like that team, and so I'll let you guys take it. How'd you like Group A, lads?
You want me to start with?
Huh? Yeah. Well, let me say, I fully bought into the patriotism. Got gas. Was listening to all the Ottoman marches before the game, and yeah, I felt like we kind of let down our ancestors there with that horrific. I think it's probably the worst I've ever seen. It's just, yeah. I mean, to come last, like it's not even last in the group, last in the whole competition. Even under Macedonia, they had a slightly more favourable goal difference than us. But as a team, who I thought had a little bit of pedigree about them. I know a lot of them were young bucks, but you know, some of them are playing in top leagues. I thought it was going to be a little bit more of a push, a little bit more effort from the Turks there. I think it was wasn't fantastic, was it?
I had more faith in them considering the quality of certain players they had and a lot of their players were coming into the tournament actually on form. So I thought they'd at least beat Scotland, Switzerland or Wales, but they just lost to everybody and badly. They never had a draw either. What did they concede? 8 goals?
I mean, the standings are there. They've conceded 8 goals.
Yeah, I mean, I was glad that we scored at least one, and it was a screamer as well. It was a fantastic goal, but it was too little, too late. Last game. I mean, as soon as we went 1-0 down against Switzerland, I was like, right, this is going horribly wrong, because I think at the start of the game it was like Turkey needed like 3 goals and everyone else to lose like miraculously, like Finland by 3 or whatever it was. In the end, Finland didn't even end up qualifying, but yeah, basically it was the worst start ever. And I don't know, I think, yeah, even with a consolation goal, it was just like kicking the nuts.
To be fair, it didn't even look like they wanted to even play in the Euros. I can't lie. I was just looking at them. I was like, where's the motivation levels that came before the match? As soon as the referee blew the whistle, it was just like, these men just wanted to stand around, really. The only person I saw was Burak just screaming and screaming, but everybody else...
Yeah, but he wasn't even really on point himself, you know? And I don't know. We were kind of in a situation where I know we just won the league, but we're relying on a 35-year-old veteran to kind of drag us up by the bootstraps. You know, I know other teams have got the same, but he's no Cristiano Ronaldo.
No.
And I think, yeah, like you said, didn't turn up at all. Was massively contrasted from the Turkey we saw in the qualifiers, and was just generally not good enough. Just played with fear, and it was a weird one because we saw Turkey sit so deep, yet they were so open. And it's like, where was the defending? None of the defenders was tracking the runners. I think Celik was exceptionally atrocious, and I'm kind of glad the links to Arsenal have died because, after that Euros, I think he'll get absolutely gobbled up. Maybe he looked a bit better in League One, but yeah, in the Premier League, I think the intensity will be too much for him. Something that he probably wasn't used to, and he kind of saw. Facing teams with a little bit more desire and a little bit more national pride on the line, just got completely blown out of the water. Saying that,
I don't know. I mean, it looked like he wasn't really helped by the other players.
No. I'm sorry. I wasn't trying to pin it all on Celik, but I'm just saying,
he didn't help.
No, he didn't help. No, that was just one thing. I think. I think it was just an overall poor performance. The only one who can really hold his head up high would probably be Chaka. And he had so much work to do, and he made so many saves. I think he did make a mistake, but when you put your goalkeeper in that position, you can only expect it. I was happy with him, and I still think he's a top keeper. I think any team who ends up getting him will be lucky to have him, I think.
I mean, for me, what the problem with Turkey was, and I don't want to spend too long on it, but I'm just going to quickly just get into this. So,
yeah,
the issue with Turkey was it was a case of too little pace around someone that needs pace. You didn't have the transitional outlet available to stretch teams as you needed to. If you're going to play Burak Yilmaz, if you're going to play someone like, if you're going to play these kinds of technical players that you have guys like Cengiz Ünder that just were not. When I don't feel like he was utilized properly, I don't feel like he was someone that I feel like. I think he could have done a lot better this tournament. I don't know about his fitness.
Yeah. I think he's got all the attributes, but he just lacks the end product, which is what you need.
Yeah.
In any team in any tournament, you can't have a player without end product. We saw that firsthand with Iwobi. He had everything apart from end product.
Yeah.
Same with Javinho. He had everything but end product. And it's like these players are just wasting space.
If you're missing one key element, so you can be an excellent finisher and you have an excellent first touch, but if you don't have the ball retention skills to get from first touch to finish,
no. I think the only attribute that sometimes you can kind of adapt your game around is pace. Not everyone needs pace as long as you've got clever movement. And for a team like Turkey, we needed pace, and we had that. But then, like I said, there was other attributes that are missing on other places of the pitch. And for me, what was most baffling was leaving Yazıcı out of the squad for 2 games and bringing him on later. I don't know. I couldn't really understand the thinking behind that because he was a performer in Ligue 1, and I kind of just wanted to see a bit more of him. But overall, very, very disappointing and not what I expected, especially the way I gassed up my entire household, thinking Turkey were going all the way. Absolutely shocking. Might as well have not even qualified, honestly.
No, you might as well have had the players. Had the fans playing on the pitch, but I'd have seen more passion from them than the players, honestly.
100%. Someone would have probably got bricked in their head or bottled, but it would have definitely made for a more interesting game than the ones we saw. Yeah.
So the other thing we have to talk about in this group is obviously Italy. So I just want to I'll quickly talk about Italy. So Italy to me look like the best team in the tournament at the moment. They have such midfield dominance that it's tough to see a way past them, and their defense is holding up very well despite its age. So I just want to get the what people think about what Italy are producing.
Go on, Z. do the honours. I've spoken enough about Turkey, I think. So maybe you can speak
I
about
must
it.
have. It just froze for a second. Could you repeat that again?
I said, what are people's thoughts on Italy right now?
Honestly, when I was watching Italy, for me, I thought they wouldn't have enough goals. Really, I didn't think they would have enough goals in them to actually, get them through. But the fact that they actually scored 7 without even conceding, it just looked like pure dominance. Again, we could counteract that with the fact that they played against lesser teams, and the technical level of the other teams were not comparable to the Italy side. But the fact was, they looked very, very ruthless, and I'm actually excited to see them against probably a bigger team really. But again, I do have the feeling that Italy might come short. We might just see their proposed lack of potency that I predicted before the start of Euros. It might just happen then rather than in the group stages really. But we'll see.
Yeah, I kind of want to second that. I think Italy. No, I'm not going to say I had doubts about them. I did actually think they would go far, so much so that I actually put my money on them to win it. And if it wasn't against Turkey, I think I would have appreciated the first game a bit more. But I think they absolutely, from like running out the blocks, absolutely dismantled Turkey, and I kind of knew that was going to be the pace going forward, and they carried on with that. They dominated the entire group. Yeah, as Z said, maybe the overall quality of the group wasn't that great, but I think it was just the way they controlled the ball, and I think the way they play, they'll carry on dominating games going forward, and I could see them doing that against every team pretty much in this competition, bar maybe France. Don't know, even against France. Honestly, I think their control was amazing, and that midfield, on paper it looks great, and seeing them play is even better.
Yeah. So the thing with this Italy team is, in terms of going up against better teams, we've got to be honest here. That this group is not exactly the hardest group out there. I mean, they do have it. This is a team. This is a group with decent to semi-good teams. I wouldn't say they're just there. There's not a Group F type team in here. There are a couple of good players, good teams in here, but I don't think any of these teams are going to be going far deep into the tournament. So it's a case of I want to see what they do going into this next phase of the tournament. I'm very excited about this half of the bracket. So let's see what they do in terms of where they put, because they're scoring goals for fun. They haven't conceded a goal yet. I mean, that's pretty crazy as well. And they do have they do have a bunch of generals in that back line that can drive this team forward.
Yeah.
So let's see what happens.
I just feel like when they probably face a team that has more pace and power, they might just get blitzed really.
Yeah.
We haven't seen Italy being tested to that extent. So when they play against someone like France, my lord, I just see France literally ripping them apart really, especially with the over the top balls from Pogba to let's say Mbappe or Benzema. They could get ripped apart, but just purely because of. Sorry?
I said France haven't ripped anybody apart.
Yeah. I mean, France usually have the tendency to start off slow in tournaments, but then they pick up as more games go. I mean, it's their mindset really. They know they're too good they're too good for the group stages. It's when the knockout stages come, they just come alive and beat teams with ease.
Yeah, I think if they were to face each other, they would definitely be opposite ends of the spectrum, because Italy will look to hold the ball and control the game, and France would just look to absolutely use that pace and power to rip them apart, like you said. It would be a very interesting matchup, but anything could happen in that kind of game. Italy could just pass them to death, and not even let them see the ball. But then France could absolutely kill them on the counter, as you suggested. But Italy have got very experienced defenders as well, and a fantastic midfield. I could see France getting absolutely shut out. I think Italy's going to go all the way. So I don't see many teams beating them.
I just, the only thing I will say to that is it's a bit. I just feel like you have to judge. It's a bit. It's very easy to say, okay, they've had a great group stage. Actually, they have. They've looked absolutely brilliant. But to say it's one-off football now. It's not. It's very much a one game. Anything can happen. Anything can happen. And what I will say with this Italy team is, I just don't see them having the same degree of effectiveness over a team like a Belgium or a France. Because Belgium, we'll get onto them later, have also looked quite good, and their stars are starting to come back to form. So let's see what happens. Just a quick word. Anyone wants to comment on Wales or Switzerland quickly, or?
I think Wales performed quite well. Better than I thought. I thought they were going to come last, to be honest. Even with Bale and Ramsey, but Bale and Ramsey really pulled them through. I think they looked alright. They looked solid, but it was against Turkey, one of the games, and I think me by myself would have looked solid against them.
Yeah.
I mean, yeah, go on, Z.
No, I mean, to be fair, I out of all the British teams, I've actually thought Wales probably played the best football in the Euros. So I think they've done pretty well to actually get out of the group stage and go to the knockout round. It'll be interesting to see how far Gareth Bale and Ramsey take them. I think these two, they're probably like one of the best like match deciders. So you never know how far they can go. So I guess we'll just have to wait and see.
I personally don't think they have enough. Maybe against Denmark, but I think those two alone won't be enough to pull them too deep in.
So okay, I mean the only quick thing I want to say on Switzerland is I do like the output of their team. I like Mbolo a lot. I do think Shaqiri in tournament football is a different monster, and Xhaka is still Xhaka. So despite his faults, he does have.
What does that mean? He can pull off a madness, or he's going to kick the ball into his own net, because there's two sides of Xhaka that I've seen being
either one. That's exactly what I mean by Xhaka is still Xhaka.
Xhaka's still Xhaka. Take that how you want.
Take that how you want. I mean, he's someone that can ping a 35-yard ball or ping it in the back of the net, or he can ping it in the back of his own net. So
yeah,
we'll see how he does. So I mean, let's move on to Group B. I think that's
enough time on Group A. It's only because Turkey were in it.
Only because we've got the Turkish duo in.
Well, I forget about this group anyway.
Yeah, this group I feel. I mean, obviously, I personally, and I think everyone here was shocked about the Denmark situation. Christian Eriksen was. I mean.
You don't want to see that, do you?
Yeah, you don't want to see that. But the fact that they've pulled through and still managed to get out of this group second is fair play to them. Fair play.
It was quite a even group, It was decided on goal difference at the end of the day.
Yeah.
So I think you got to give audits to each of the teams, but I think it was just unfair on Russia to just get back.
Yeah, Romelu Lukaku. I don't know. That guy is looking like he's looking like someone that I can see really making damage in this tournament.
Well, he's coming off the back of a fantastic season, and he kind of just took that straight into the tournament and carried on taking the world by storm.
So let's just see what he does, because him, De Bruyne, and if Hazard, I know it's if, but if Hazard can show that he has some mettle about him and get back into this tournament to be some version of himself, then they do have a shot. They have a shot at taking out a lot of these teams, I feel. But it's a case of we have to wait and see with them, because I do not like their back line. I don't mind Courtois, but there's some of them. Didn't Vermaelen score a goal for them, if I remember correctly? But he was like their back line is very ancient. Yeah. So I don't know. That's the issue with that.
It's cool.
So it's a case of we have to wait and see. And these other two teams, Russia, the amount of jokes I heard about Russia, this, the fact that people were saying that 2018 Russia team was definitely on some form of PEDs jokes about that tournament because they looked awful in this tournament. They did not look like a team that I could see progressing at all.
I can't lie. This probably was the
not close to what we saw. Definitely some sort of hangover there.
Yeah, 100%. I think it was probably one of the most boring groups.
It really was.
I don't. Apart from the Denmark Finland game, I don't remember a single game in that group. So
I remember
I like the Denmark Belgium game.
The Denmark. That's exactly the game I was going to bring up. The Denmark Belgium game.
Yeah.
Denmark are probably the best pressing team in the tournament right now.
Yeah, let's move on quickly because this is a very boring group. Group C. First thing I want to say is Goran Pandev. I salute you for still being that guy at what 37 years of age.
37. He's 38 next month.
38 next. But what a man! What a man! Like he was. You could tell that this tournament meant everything to him. And he enjoyed this tournament like it was like he was taking his last breath. And fair play to the man, because even though they got zero, they got 0 goal, they got 0 points, just like someone else. But at least they went out with a bit of pride and went out on their shield. That Pandev goal when he nicked it off. Who was it? I think it was against Austria. Yeah, Baumgartner passed it back to their keeper.
Alaba, I think. Wasn't it off Alaba?
Yeah. I think it ricocheted off Alaba, but the pass was
then the commentator was like, Goran Pandev's amazing ability to make goals and stuff, some nonsense.
Yeah, it was a bit of a madness. Fair play to the man, because he is someone that I do regard as a great striker in terms of at Inter Milan in that team. He was a very, very decent striker. I mean, in terms of this group, does anyone want to take the Netherlands?
Netherlands
finishing top.
Yeah, but De Jong was probably definitely their best player. They were playing through him a lot. Wijnaldum scored a couple.
I was going to say.
Dumfries scored a couple goals.
Yeah, Dumfries is always a player that I did admire. I wasn't sure if he could make it at the top level, but despite his missed opportunities, I think he's looked good this tournament so far.
Yeah.
What it is, right, is with this Netherlands team, it reminds me that Dutch football is not personnel dependent; it's systemic dependent. And if you can put anyone, as long as they understand the roles that they're given, into a Netherlands team, because if you look at some of these players, they're not great. They don't have Van Dijk. They don't even have Cillessen. It doesn't look like a very decent team, but they've rolled this group, and a lot of people liked Ukraine, but they rolled Ukraine as well.
Yeah, I think they did have a slightly easy group as well, though, in terms of levels. And I think in the next round we're going to see if they have what it needs to take it through to the next level. I think, like you said, their system is strong. But when I think of Netherlands teams in the past, they had top players.
Yeah.
And where they're a far cry away from what they used to be. I think they can get there again, especially with the new generation of young Dutch players, especially players like Marlon, De Jong, De Ligt,
Botman, Stengs.
Yeah, they've got a lot, and I hope to see Netherlands, because it's the sort of team that I admired, obviously because of our own Dutch players, Bergkamp and Overmars. Watching.
I mean, for me, it's a case of I don't like I don't like the some of the players in this team that I don't like, but I understand why they're there and what they're doing in that system. So we'll see what they do. Z, do you have any thoughts on this group, or should we move on?
Yeah,
On the
let's
group.
move on, man. Honestly, like to be fair, I only watched a few Netherlands games. Like, to be fair, with the whole Euros, I only watched the teams that interested me because there's too many games, man.
There are a lot of games.
So yeah.
For me, I liked Ukraine with Yaremchuk, Yarmolenko. They did well. They did better than I thought they'd beat Austria, but they didn't. So I'm sure Ukraine got to the knockouts.
Yeah, they did. You can see that the blue teams are the ones that are going through. We'll go through who they're going to play in a bit, but I think that's a good stopping point to move on to Group D, which is our group. So, who wants to start? Who wants to start with this mess?
I mean, just on paper, it just looks like England, dominate the group. But I'm sure it was far from that, man. Honestly, this England team needs to fix up. They can't control games for more than 20
2
minutes.
goals.
Exactly, and we all know who it came from. So it's actually appalling, man. I mean, the amount of quality players that this squad has, and we only managed to control probably a collective of 40 minutes in game. It's absolutely shocking, really. And I don't know. I'm actually scared to play against Germany. Really, I think if Germany get their lineup, bro, I think they could take the team apart. Honestly,
You know what? Funnily enough, I think England will do Germany. I think there's too much quality in that pitch, and I think towards the end of the group, we kind of found the balance, especially with Saka. For me, Saka has to play, and it was a lot more balanced.
So for me, what we found out about this group is, with this, not even the group, with the England team, is that it's all well and good playing a formation, but you have to play personnel that actually go into those formations. You can't consistently try and put Foden as a right wing and expect him to be someone that can give you extra options as a runner. He's not a runner. He's someone that will give you half space creation. He'll allow you to pass between the lines very well. He's not someone that is gonna be there for, I don't know, like he's not going to be someone that's going to stretch teams. He's someone that's going to allow the runners around him to stretch teams. So Saka has to start. And it's not even close. If Saka starts, I think this team takes off in a much.
Yeah, but who misses out ahead of him?
Foden.
Oh God, I don't even think that happens. Really, I think
I know it doesn't happen.
Whoever,
it's
Mount or Foden.
So Mount can't play.
It's over Mount or Foden, especially against Germany.
Well, Mount can't play anyway. He had the COVID.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
Didn't he just do a test just today and he came out with a negative, so he might play.
Yeah, but he had to. They made the England players Mount and Chilwell isolate for 10 days.
Yeah, but
that makes sense.
That's still enough days for him to play, no?
I'm not too sure, so I'm not going to commit to it. But I think he is able to play. I will go with it, but I'm not sure.
Either way, Saka has to play because he's the only proper right winger who can do that job. He's done it all season for Arsenal. It doesn't make sense to play anyone else there.
He can't play the round of 16. He can play the quarters.
If you listen to Man United fans, it should be Sancho on the right wing.
Yeah, but we all know that it's not even his best position. Look, listen, he can do a good job there, but why would you do that when you've got the perfect player for that position? I mean, Southgate just needs to really just bite the bullet, stop being scared, and play with a bit more gusto. Put the right players in the right positions and try and dominate. Don't try and not lose. That is what I feel like England's game plan is at the moment. Damage limitation when there's no reason to. England have literally got one of the best squads in the competition. And that's not even bias. That is a fact. It's probably got one of the best attacks in the competition, if not the best.
Agreed.
You know, and as soon as Maguire played as well, we saw how much better the build-up was. Control the games. Yeah. England could dominate Germany if they play the right way, easily. It's just a case of do they have the mentality and will they?
For me, that front line is. I don't like this notion that people have to start. For me, my front line is Saka right, Sancho left, DCL middle because of King's lack of fitness at the moment, or the way he's playing at the moment. So
I think you can't drop Sterling. I don't think Sterling can be dropped after he scored England's only 2 goals.
I understand that. But if you're looking at in terms of the best players in those roles, I don't think Sancho should start. But if I'm looking at it objectively, that is my front line for this game. If you're taking form into account, then obviously
against Germany.
Yeah, but I'm just talking about in terms of an objective lineup. If you're taking form into account, then obviously Sterling starts over Sancho. But so
even for mentality, I think Sterling has to start because there's not many winners in that England team, and Sterling is one of the only ones. So, say you do bench Sterling, like what other winners would you actually put in there? Because I'm assuming you'd play Reece James.
Yeah, Reece James and probably Shaw as the fullback.
So that means Walker's out as well.
So I would personally play Walker. Honestly, I think I've seen more from Walker than what I saw from Reece James and Kieran Trippier. And
I think it's probably hard to drop Walker. I think he's probably performed the best, but I do prefer Reece James. So it's the age-old choice. You know, do you go for the player who you know has the potential to perform better, or do you go for the player who is performing better?
Because with Walker, my only problem with him is sometimes he sees a forward pass but doesn't want to risk it, so he hinders, or he goes back or goes left. So for me, I think my only problem with him is his pass selection at times, but his recovery pace is better than probably anyone in that squad. So if getting caught on the counter, I don't think Walker will definitely be helping against Germany. But if we do, what formation would you guys play?
I think 4-2-3-1 is still the way to go with this.
I think they'll go 3-4-3 to go man for man.
I think they will go 3-4-3. But I would implore them to try and put the right personnel in a 4-2-3-1.
I think if you go 3-4-3, match them formation wise, I think England have the players to just dominate Germany, to be honest. But
I can definitely see Southgate. You know, he probably doesn't have the creativity, tactical creativity to not match Germany. So we'll definitely probably see 3 at the back, especially seeing him preferring that formation earlier on.
Yeah.
Anyway,
do you think we bring back Henderson and Maguire in the lineup?
It's weird because
definitely
with both of them, they're both leaders. You're going with.
No, I was going to say, I definitely would see that. You know, we want a bit of control, but we also need someone who's able to pass forward. I think with Rice and Phillips were a bit too defensive, and probably why we struggled to blow teams out of the water like we should have. You know, with the introduction of Henderson, we'll have a lot more forward passing, ball retention. Not that Calvin Phillips and Rice didn't do that well enough, but I think you kind of add that extra dimension that kind of England were lacking. And we saw the difference between Maguire and Mings. I think Mings is a very good defender in terms of low block and you know, just get it out there, get his body on the line. I will give him that, but in terms of everything else, not good enough. You know, he doesn't have the composure, and he kind of just gets the ball and hoops it out. Whereas Maguire is a lot more composed, and he knows how to play football, basically.
Yeah, even with the Maguire, there was a time where he just stepped into midfield and one pass, and Kane was 2-on-1 with the defender,
Exactly.
Kane and Sterling, and that would not be offered apart. Only Maguire and Ben White, probably of all the centre backs there, will ever make that pass. So I think if we do go free, one of them has to start.
Well, you saw my teams on Twitter before.
Yeah.
Maguire was deemed fit enough to play, and it had Ben White in it over Mings, and it's for that exact reason, because he can step up and play those balls that will literally split the entire team, just bypass the midfield completely. Bang, Kane's in on goal, which is what he feasts on. And I kind of thought all the criticisms Kane was getting was a bit harsh because he wasn't getting the service he usually would have got, and the team wasn't playing to his strengths either. A lot of world-class players weren't performing on the European stage, on
I
the
don't
Euro
think Kane
stage.
himself was playing to other people's strength, because there was playing Mount and Foden, who are both creators, and Kane was dropping deep himself trying to create. So he's eliminating the best part of two of the other players' games, when he himself could do what he did in 1920 and just stay up and like bag goals, which he used to do. But I think I think he knows he's not fully fit, so should just stay up and not drop deep, because if he stays up, he will get many more chances like that Maguire chance, where if you miss, everybody's blaming you because you should have scored, rather than taking shots from 25, 30 yards that are less likely to go in.
Yeah, I mean, last thing I want to mention before we move on to some of the other teams in this group is, with this England team, it's a case of you have to try and find that balance in two areas specifically. So I honestly think the defense is fairly set. I like the Maguire, Stone, Shaw, and I suppose you can argue between Walker or James. The argument for me that starts in midfield is it's just a case of trying to find a balance. I think personally, I do like a Rice, Henderson, Mount midfield, because you have that defensive security. You have a ball progressor in Declan Rice, and you have a leader in Jordan Henderson that knows what he's doing in terms of winners that we were mentioning before in terms of tournament football. So, as well as being, let's be real, Jordan Henderson has been one of the best players in the Premier League over the past 2 or 3 years. I would say he's not a scrub. I think people have woken up to Jordan Henderson. And Mount,
that's a 4-3-3, right?
That's a 4-3. That's not well. You can. It's a bit iffy. You can have Rice and Henderson in a pivot.
Yeah, I don't think he will ever risk a 4-3-3. I think he'll put Rice and Henderson in a pivot. He'll let Mount go up a bit further. That's how I see that.
Well, he wouldn't do it against a weak opposition, let alone Germany. So I think let's safely rule that out as a possibility. But
I don't have it as a 4-3-3. I have it as a pivot. With Rice and Henderson.
Do you think he'll even do that?
I don't, but that's why I'm he's a bit useless to me. Like my team is something that works in a 4-2-3-1 or a 4-3-3. You can have Rice, Henderson, Mount, and the back five I mentioned, and then DCL, Sterling / Sancho, either one. I think Sterling at the moment, and then on the right you have Saka. I think that team fairly easily wins against Germany. I don't know what you guys think.
I think just to make it easy, you go 3-4-3. Just to minimize risk, you have to man for man.
So you're thinking about Southgate now?
No, in general, because think about it though, is that you have one chance. There's no second leg, nothing. You have to minimize risk. So match their man for man and trust your talent to be better than their talent.
Yeah. I think this is going to be I think this whole tournament from now on is going to be decided by in-game management personally, because of the lack of managerial talent at the Euros. If you can have someone that will set up the players, that's just a good point. So I just don't know if Gareth will have the in-game management skills to really to really push this team and take it to a final or even winning the tournament. So that's the only issue. But I want to get onto some of the other teams. So first we'll start with Scotland. I mean, first of all, Kieran Tierney, stay with us forever. I love you. Never leave. Like,
watching that England game, it was difficult not to support Scotland there because Tierney was absolutely an animal. As an Arsenal fan, anyway, I just absolutely admire the guy. You know, I've got his away shirt in the basket ready to order for the start of next season. Honestly, what an animal, man! He just brings everything you want in a player. He brings quality. He brings shithousingness, and he's just got the know-how of the actual game. He's great. I love watching Tierney, man. I'm sad for Scotland, just for Tierney, but I'm also glad
he's a big leader.
Back early. Massive leader. Definitely a future Arsenal captain there. Definitely, no doubt in my mind.
So for me, it's a case of with Kieran Tierney, the fact is that he played a left centre back and did it with ease. Like he looked sublime in that spot of quality.
He was better than the left back.
Yep.
Yeah,
it was. To be fair, I think Robertson is a bit more one-dimensional compared to Kieran Tierney. I think Kieran Tierney has a lot more in his locker. So I mean, it's pretty much evident that the whole team actually, trusts Kieran Tierney a lot more than Robertson. You can see the way all the players pass to him, in the final third and in midfield as well. To be fair,
I'm not taking anything from Robertson either. I think it's just a shame that Scotland's probably two best players are left backs. So it's just
weird. Yeah.
It's just a bit unfair how the fates have kind of unfolded for them. But I you know what? I thought they showed a lot of heart, and I was kind of disappointed that they didn't go through. They've actually got a decent team now. A lot of them are Premier League starters. McGinn is fantastic as a player. He's been fantastic, and I think compared to other players around the world in his position, fantastic. Che Adams, he's a bit of a dark horse. He had a good season, I would say. I kind of expected Scotland to do a bit more. If it was out of Scotland and Wales, I think Scotland are probably a better team.
I would agree with you, but I just think Wales just have. I think they have that individual quality. I think it's a case of.
I think Wales are more suited to the tournament.
Yeah. I think it's a case of above average players throughout the team, or individual excellence, and then that pulls it through. So, any words on your boy Che Adams?
I like Che Adams. I think his hold-up play was very good the whole tournament, but he just didn't finish chances.
He did not finish chances. We're going to get on to in a second before.
But I think that's his main problem, isn't it? Not being able to finish chances. He's got everything apart from.
That's what Wales have over other teams, because Wales can sit back and they have Daniel James. They have so much pace that in tournaments pace kills, because Wales and Ramsey is always getting on the edge of chances in the box. So teams like Wales will always do well in tournaments because they kill on the counter attack. They're more suited to a tournament than Scotland, even though Scotland may have better talent overall. Overall, I mean.
I want to talk about because as the guys know, my dark horse for this tournament is the team that's finished third in this group. I have ties that go back a long way with the Czechs, but they have a lot of pace and power. They have players in there like Thomas Souček. They have Schick. They have Sufal. They have monsters in that team. Lojek coming off the bench. Sima. I really do like this team, and they've shown themselves admirably. That goal by Schick, come on, lads.
Oh, the first game against Scotland was very good.
Yeah, they played out their skin against Scotland, and they deserve to be in the knockout stages against. Let's face it, a group with two of one who was a World Cup finalist, and two semi-finalists, and another was a semi-finalist. So fair play to them, and they've outperformed what people thought. And I think if they are the tackiest, not Turkey. These are the guys that if there's any team in this that is left in that can do a Greece, it's the Czechs, because they have the, let's say, the shithousery component down to a T. So we'll see what happens. But I do like this Czech team, and I think they can. I mean, we'll get into it in a second. They can do some damage. But for now, let's move on to Che Adams Senior in Spain for in Group E. Alvaro Morata. Hang your head in shame. I don't care what people say. That man
It's nothing
is
new.
used. He is used for money laundering. I don't care.
Can you believe how much the transfers for him has been?
Yeah.
I think it's just
Oh my god. It's been an absolute shambles, that guy. Like, he needs to buck his ideas and really understand. Like, did you see the follow up, the miss on the follow up where you hit the bar? Like, I think.
Yeah.
Oh god.
Would you compare him to like a striker version of Mustafi?
Yeah.
He's been doing it for years, though.
That's
He did
harsh,
it
man.
against
Yeah.
us.
Harsh.
That's not harsh.
That is harsh, man.
Well, no, you're saying down there the Spanish Choupo-Moting, but
Yeah.
listen, Choupo-Moting has he's shown up and he's had some. Yeah, I don't know. I wouldn't.
He's what I'd call a full striker. I mean, he does everything well,
Yeah.
apart finish. So
Everything right apart from finishing, you know.
So yeah, I think that's unfortunate on him. I mean, I was looking at a video on YouTube the other day when he was just doing like training videos, and even he did so many skills and he still missed. And I was like, what the hell? I think it's just a part of what Morata is really. He just can't finish.
I think he lacks composure. When he gets to the last hurdle, even if you watch him for Chelsea against Arsenal, where he missed like countless one-on-ones.
Oh god.
Like, he's been
That's
doing
just
this
got
for so
composure
long.
and mentality, man. You need to have the confidence, you know, and you can see other players who thrive on that confidence and are those confidence players, you know. Aubameyang is the perfect example, and Morata just doesn't have that composure or mentality to because you can't get to that level of football without being good at football. I've got no doubt that he can bang it top bins. It's just whether you can do it in the moment, like you said, when he's one-on-one. And Morata just doesn't have that, unfortunately. And we saw the same thing happen to Torres as well. You know, he'd done it for Liverpool. As soon as he got that big move, the price tag was a bit too heavy for him, and he wasn't consistent at all with it. I think sometimes that's like a big hurdle for players at this level. And that is, I've said something that I've said before, that is what separates the elite without the elite, because I'm sure there's players that are on the same skill level, but what puts the other ahead of the other is the mentality they've got and the composure that they have.
So I mean,
That's it.
I think this Spain team, great. You knocked five in one game. That's a great achievement. But I just feel like this team isn't as good as it seems. I think it can get undone when it comes up against in the knockouts. I don't see them going to, let's say, a semi-final. I mean, we'll talk about it in a sec, but I just don't see that. In terms of the rest of this group, Poland. It's not something I like saying, but Lewandowski, they've surrounded him with, I don't know what they surrounded.
It wasn't a surprise to me, to be honest. They don't have a very good team.
I mean, it's a surprise.
There's only so much one can do.
I had them qualifying. I thought Lewandowski would just drag them, but like I just thought a Wales situation would happen with Poland. I thought they had a couple of good, decent players that could turn up on the day, and it's tournament football at the end of the day. So maybe they'd get dragged through, but I was wrong. I don't really remember a lot about this Swedish team. Does anyone have anything to say about it?
Isak was very good.
Isak, yes, yeah, of course.
He was quality, but apart from
it just felt like he was kind of playing on his own at times. Like he was like they would just have to feed him the ball, and he would try and dribble out to their half and try and make something happen. It wasn't. I just feel that team would go as far as Isak can take them, and that's a lot of
pressure
on someone that's that young. So let's have a look and see. And I don't really remember anything about Slovakia. I
How did
didn't
they even get 7 points?
So I think they drew against Spain and then won against the other two. I think, is that right? Comments check. Correct me if I'm wrong.
Maybe.
But
Forsberg scored a lot.
I mean, they only scored 4 goals. It's not like it's a lot.
Yeah, I think a lot in comparison to the rest of them.
Yeah. I mean, the Slovakian defense is what let them down. I feel. If it wasn't for their defense, they might have been able to make a go at it. But their defense just looked iffy.
Well, the fact that they shipped so many goals is the reason why they're done.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah. True.
Yeah, and do you remember that Lewandowski missing the last game where he hit the crossbar and put it over the bar?
Yeah.
That could have put them through.
Yeah. It's sad, because I just think he's such a baller. Is Lewandowski? And sometimes it just doesn't show on the international stage. Like you have to be at one of these big countries to really announce yourself on the international stage. He just wasn't born in one of those countries.
No.
So,
That was their goals apparently.
yeah, thank you, DK. I appreciate it. But anyway, I think that's enough on the final group. I want to do a proper prediction on this. So.
This group is crazy.
I hate it. Do you know what? Because I've said to you guys a million times, I was meant to be there watching these teams play. And when I saw the groups, because the last time I went to the Euros in 2016, I think the groups were Poland, Ukraine, Hungary, and Iceland. So 4 teams that were all a bit. And then this year, well, obviously it was before the pandemic happened. When I saw, because when you get the tickets, it basically says. The group, it doesn't say which teams you're facing. So I had Group F before I even knew who was playing in Group F. So I'm like, all right, Group F. Hopefully it's a good group. When I saw the group, I was like, oh my God, this is going to be the absolute best. And then obviously pandemic happened, got delayed, etc., etc. I ended up refunding my tickets in the end. And it's just an absolute disappointment. So we were meant to see the games in Budapest as well. You saw how packed that Hungary stadium was. I mean, if it was in any other situation, say that again.
There was 61,000 people. So.
Yeah, it was incredible. It looked incredible. I mean, I think during current climate, I would have been a bit nervous. But I mean, in any other situation, like it's a game that you live for.
that last day was mental.
3 pens in one game.
Yeah. So I think the games I was supposed to see was Portugal. Was it Portugal and Hungary and France and Portugal? Yeah, it was Portugal. So it was the game on Saturday and the game on the Wednesday. Was that France and I think that was France and Portugal and Hungary. So it would have been an amazing game to be there live for. That Portugal and Hungary game.
Was the worst refereed game of the whole tournament.
Fantastic. Great as a neutral. You go there, you're like, just scream for both sides. You know?
Honestly, though, I just feel like the Portugal side is going to get undone very soon. They look shaky in this group. I don't think they're going to go very, very far. I think Germany could provide a test. We'll get into it in a second. But France in this group is still France, and you can't take it away from them. And
those 5 goals.
This is by far the 3 contenders in one group, and they've come out of this group. They did. Sure, they drew a couple of games, but they won, and they didn't. They conceded 3 goals. Okay, fair. That's not the worst. I think this is by far the hardest group, and they've still topped the group. So, I mean, let's get into it. So, I mean, but shout out to Hungary though. They gave it their all. They gave it their all, but at the end of the day, it just wasn't enough. They were close though. That Goretzka goal just killed them at the end. But yeah, let me quickly change to the tournament predictor. So we can just give. We're just going to do round of 16 here, folks. I don't want to. Don't want to do. If maybe if we'll have time, we can go into it. But I want to just do the round of 16 for today for sure. So let's start off with this game. I think this game is. What do you guys think?
Wow.
Go on, CK.
It's weird because Ronaldo has like 5 goals, so I'm not sure if he's gonna. He might score again because he looked like scoring every game, even though he scored 3 penalties, I think. But Belgium have looked good when Lukaku's on the pitch, and he's probably had a big role to play in every single goal they scored. So if Lukaku's on it, I see Belgium just overpowering Portugal. And if Portugal rest on their laurels and bring Bruno back in instead of playing Ronaldo Sanchez, I think Portugal will lose if they play Bruno Fernandes.
Agreed.
But if they play Ronaldo Sanchez, I think it's going to be a good game. I actually think Ronaldo will probably get a penalty in the game.
We'll see.
I say
Anyone else?
Belgium. I say Belgium. I'm quite confident.
Yeah.
I think they've been so good, and Portugal really have been quite disappointing considering the kind of players they have. I know they're in a difficult group as well, but even the game against Hungary, yeah, I say Belgium.
Yeah, I see Portugal. I don't know why. I just see Cristiano Ronaldo coming.
Cristiano will.
He'll come in
I
clutch.
think if Lukaku turns up, it's a problem for Portugal.
Yeah, and De Bruyne as well. I think Belgium's team is just overall better team.
Yeah. So I think we'll agree on Thursday, Belgium for me. And this, do we even have to talk about this one?
No,
Yeah, Italy for me,
Italy, right?
easily.
Italy's by far the best coach team as well. And
Yeah,
they just
they
have-
have
I mean, Mancini is probably the best coach in the tournament, isn't he? So,
Yeah, definitely.
Again with
France.
this one,
France, yeah.
This one we can talk about because I don't know this game. Both teams are just. I don't
Spain are
think
rubbish, man.
Croatia aren't
Yeah,
great
they
either.
Croatia are old as well. I think
Yeah,
Modric pulled out a masterclass in the last game they had. But
Honestly, I see Spain.
I see Spain as well. I say Spain.
I think if the manager plays the right forward line, because in the England game he played it wrong. He put the wrong player out wide, and he switched them for the third game, so they won 3-1. If he keeps it similar to how they played against, who did they beat? Was it Wales? 3-1.
No,
I
it
think
was Wales.
no, it wasn't Wales.
Yeah, no,
it was
it
Scotland.
was.
Scotland. It was Scotland. They beat Scotland 3-1.
Yeah, no,
So
you didn't get the Czech Republic. Yeah.
If they keep the same dynamics, I think Croatia can definitely win. But Spain is the obvious choice. But I think I'm not sure. Z, what do you think?
Honestly, I think Spain will take it.
So my vote doesn't matter. My vote doesn't matter.
I think they have a much more youthful, energetic team compared to Croatia, and I think that could come in clutch, at least towards the end of the games as well. So I think Spain will take it.
All right, second half of the group. So we start off. I don't know.
Sweden, Ukraine. That is a good game.
I think Ukraine personally.
Same. Ukraine have killer outlets. I think this is where Isak goes out. But Forsberg and Isak have done well. But Yaremchuk,
Yarmolenko.
I think Malenko. Who else did it? Didn't he have Malinovsky?
Yeah.
Zinchenko in
Yeah,
midfield as well.
Zinchenko's
Midfield. Yeah, I think
When-
Ukraine takes it. I like
I say Ukraine as well. I don't know why. I just got a feeling inside. Like when I looked at the standings, the fixtures, and we'll go through. I think, something spoke to me inside. Said Ukraine.
Oh,
Now, here we go.
England,
I-
England,
I-
man,
I-
England. They're gonna do it. They're gonna do
I'll
it.
tell you right now, in the 3 games that we have coming up, I have 2 upsets. So
so there's no upset in this because they're both massive teams.
Exactly. Come on, man.
No, they're saying out of the 3, there's gonna be upsets.
I think
So
there'll be
Well,
2.
in the last game, is matched.
yeah,
Is it?
We'll see. Let's,
Oh,
yeah,
Wales
Wales and
Denmark
Denmark.
I
I
think Denmark are a better team. Do you not think?
but they're close. They're not. There's not a big
They
disparity.
are
between them.
close.
No.
I would say in terms of performance in the tournament as well, considering Wales had quite a difficult group for them. Well, should have been difficult. Turkey made it easy. Yeah,
Oh,
it was probably about even. You know, Denmark had Belgium, Wales had Italy,
yeah.
Finland and Russia on the same level as Switzerland and Turkey.
Mm.
Nah,
Okay,
not as bad as Turkey.
Get back to the main game.
That game, England versus Germany, is a very good one because whoever
the best one.
loses has a problem with their fan base because you failed essentially. So one of them is going to have a serious problem. I think England have a better squad, even though Germany have some great players, and Germany.
England should be winning that game.
Yeah.
Yeah, England.
I'm gonna go with my heart here.
Yeah, of course, man. Please go with your heart this time.
I think England will win, but all I'm saying is Germany have some killer players that can kill England.
Yeah.
Like,
But so does England. I think if England plays to their strengths and can work out Germany, they'll win. They'll win every single time. They'll win.
I want revenge for that 2010 World Cup, right?
Yeah.
Oh, that was bad.
I want revenge. So that game is 10 years later, 10, 11 years later, there's no better time, man, than to get revenge. We need to rip those Germans apart. 100%.
Yeah.
All right. And
I think if England don't win this time and get at least to the final, they may have a bigger problem next year. So this is the time.
Yeah.
But I mean, Southgate's already getting offered a new contract for.
Which is crazy to me.
Mental, and you know, I kind of tweeted about it yesterday. It's funny. I just think it's rewarding failure. You know, well, it's not failure, but I don't think the FA should be looking at how England performed in the group stages and be like, "Yeah, mate, it's going fantastically. Let's keep this going."
They should at least wait if he gets to the final or something. If he gets to the final, it makes sense.
Definitely.
Even though I wouldn't do it, I can see why they do it. But when the round of 16, like it's too early.
Yeah, definitely too early to even be considering it. But yeah, let's see how it goes. Hopefully they win.
all right.
Come on, Saka.
Come on, Saka. I still think this happens.
No.
Nah,
I'm telling you.
I disagree.
telling you.
There's no way that's
telling
happening.
you.
Karen.
No.
I'm
Yeah, how
telling
can
you.
you watch Netherlands selection and say that?
Clip this for next week. CK, you have the clips. Clip
That's
this for
not
next
happening.
week, yeah?
Flip it.
Clip this for next week, and I'm
Flip
telling
it. It's
you,
not
yeah.
happening.
I'm telling you, you lot can have this.
Yeah, we're gonna have it. And it's gonna be right.
Bro, this,
You lot can have it, but I'm telling you.
Okay,
I'm telling you.
okay. We think I think Holland's gonna win, but to back Curran on this, Czech Republic have played well and they do have good players. They're gonna miss out on Borrow because he got suspended.
Yeah.
But they do have some good players. Aren't they playing today? No, they're not.
Today?
Italy's playing today.
No,
So
Italy's playing today.
Italy's playing.
I think.
Well,
Nah. Netherlands is doing it, man. They've played well. I was unsure about them during the qualifiers, but how they've started with intent. I think Czech Republic have been good as well.
I think this is an upset. I just do. I have it in my gut.
I think if Czech Republic limit De Jong, because De Jong is doing everything for Holland progression wise. If they limit De Jong, they have a big chance. They could win. I think Holland will win, but Czech Republic have a chance.
And this final game, I think
24
it's
minutes.
I say Wales. I don't know why. I think they're pretty evenly matched in terms of quality. Maybe Denmark is better, like you said, but I think Wales. Bale and Ramsey effect is
Yeah.
Yeah,
much.
I see Wales too.
in a one-off game. I take Wales, but I still think this is the case. So we'll see. We'll see.
Do you guys
Come
think
on.
Christensen will have a good game?
He will have a good game. I just think that team is very, very tired in terms of like mentally. It's they drag themselves to that group stage. So let's see.
Yeah, we'll see today. We'll see today what's going to win.
All right. So now that's done. What would you say have been your takeaways about this tournament before we head off?
That I think we've seen with Italy that a coach can push a team so far. Like Mancini, even though he's missed two of his best midfielders, all of them, like Locatelli has looked amazing as a box-to-box. Jorginho has looked good. Barella's looked good. Like he's missing Verratti, who's arguably his best midfielder, and Pellegrini, who's a very good midfielder. And they still scored 7 goals, I think, 8 goals.
Unbelievable.
They do. And Chiesa's not there. Chiellini got injured. Like they're not at their best, and they're still dominating. So with a coach like that and a midfield like that, that team will always have a chance. Always.
Z?
To be fair, the only thing that I've just got out is that England still can't control a game. So that's probably the most disappointing part of the whole tournament for me. I expected a lot more from England. I hope they actually step up in the game against Germany, but that's for us to see.
And Wave?
My takeaway is the qualifiers probably don't count for much because as soon as the shit gets serious, you see who's got the head and the composure to actually perform on the big and main stage, as we saw with Turkey.
In terms of this tournament, I think there's a couple of tactical things that we have to look at. One is the importance of transitional outlets in terms of getting teams, being able to stretch teams, and actually being able to have runners that are able to really stretch teams and create space. And that's what Turkey lacked, and that's what Sterling has done. So in terms,
that's what Ukraine and Wales have.
Yeah, exactly. So
and having profiles such as Foden and Mount, how that's hindered England as well, and how you need the balance, and not have players playing on top of each other or playing in positions which aren't suited to them. And I think that kind of was compounded with Kane dropping deep, kind of doing the job that was already being done. He kind of needed to stick at what the role was there for him to do. And I think it doesn't help when you've got a coach such as Southgate who isn't as tactically astute as, say, a Mancini. And
he's scared to take off Kane.
Yeah, but I don't think taking off Kane is the right thing to do. I think Kane is the best striker England have. There's no way he shouldn't not be playing.
Same, but I think
you need to kind of give the team so it's balanced to bring the best out of him. You know what I mean?
So I think that in terms of the Kane DCL argument, I just think that if someone's not fit and they're not playing at their optimal level, then you need to at least rest them. Even if it's a case of you bring him off the bench after about 60 minutes or something, give DCL a run out. Maybe he'll do something.
Do you think he was unfit?
I just doesn't look like himself, man.
So maybe that's because of how he's being utilised, and maybe it's a lack of direction.
It looks like he's not being used properly. We're not even passing the ball as quick enough as well.
He's not getting the ball.
No, he's not.
He's not getting the ball to score. He's dropping
too deep as well. He's dropping way too deep.
Yeah, but I mean, that's where he needs a bit of direction from the coach. No, he's kind of just
I
been.
don't think
kind of
he's having this much quality.
It's like do what you do best.
Sorry, CK, go ahead.
I don't think he's used to having this much quality around him, so he's struggling.
That's a fair take as well.
I think we're going to wrap it up there. But thank you, Wave. George, we'll see you soon. But everyone, we'll go around and we'll just let everyone sign off. So CK, you can go first. Plug your stuff as you will.
Yeah, I'm pure CKK on Twitter. Check out Ball of a Passion on TikTok. Check out our podcast on Mondays and check out the video we dropped yesterday on our thoughts on Ben White.
It's really going off, and it's a good one as well. But I'll let Z go first. Go on, mate.
Yeah, as you can see, my socials, Private Arsenal Z. You can follow us on TikTok as well. We actually opened it last week. Posted 3 videos, and one of the funniest ones posted today with Curran. Other than that, I mean, I want to give a massive thank you to Wave for stepping in again as well. So yeah, thank you.
That's all good. Hopefully, it's more of a regular occurrence.
Oh yeah, I'd love that. So yeah, no, honestly, thank you. And
We'd
thank
love you on.
I'd love to be on.
Go on, Wave. Start off.
And yeah, that's me. Maybe I'm going to get it the first time.
Yes, he's done it.
Can we get a shoe collection video from you?
Maybe one day. Yeah.
People have been asked.
Do a hybrid. I've actually got the Arsenal ones, the 1971 ones.
Nice.
So maybe next time I'll do like a little unboxing.
Unboxing, yeah. Those usually pop off on the platform.
All right, cool.
And finally, let's see. Am I going to get it? Yes, there you go. Oh,
no.
There you go.
Yeah, there you go.
At CC_BOP2. There you go, CK.
Yeah,
I've done it. For once, I've actually got it. I got it on the right side at least. It's there. And this is Ball of a Passion. Thank you for tuning in. Thank you everyone for contributing and subscribing and commenting. The growth has been really good, guys, and I really hope we can keep it up. We're going to have a podcast recording tomorrow to hopefully be released on Monday, and that will be released on Spotify there, and then on Wednesday on YouTube. The TikTok as well. Please just give it a watch. I don't really get this TikTok stuff, but apparently I'm meme worthy. So we'll see how this progresses. And thank you guys, and we'll see you next time. Please don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe. And bye bye now.
bye.